Side was easy.
What are you thinking in terms of, that inner dialogue? And I think part of one of the pillars I like to talk about is inner mastery, and words matter. Not just the words that we tell to other people, but more importantly, the words we tell ourselves. And so can you talk about what that internal dialogue looked like? Because let's face it, in your particular case, physically down and out, potentially economically. And if anyone was to look at that from the external, they'd say, man, oh man, dude, like tap out. So how do you first of all, what did you start to tell yourself, and how difficult, or how did you start to make that shift to say that, you know what, I am going to get out of this? So talk about what that process looked like.
Initially it was the goal of the physical recovery. The motivation was what happened, and that I would not let it happen again. Become that strong, strength-wise person that I wasn't at that time. Like I was a young guy at the time when it happened and thought I could do it. And I had done it in drills and training. But that was my motivation, especially in the gym, especially when I'd be preparing. And then my wife even gave me that and said, this is your new job, going to the gym. Going to the gym is your new job. And because I'd feel guilt about being away from our little boys and not having that routine of providing, but going to that gym was. But to be honest, in those first few months and years, it wasn't a positive motivation. The motivation that I had was the failure of the event. And I learned that not right away, but when I went back to work, I realized that the motivation I had to save Harold, to rescue him and be strong enough and practice and do it all I could to change the ending. So going through the process of the goal of back to work was excellent. It did work for me.
And so that provides that end state, right? It gives you that focus. And I think another important point is that you didn't pick 5 years down the road, right? Or 10 years. What does it look like? So was that a deliberate, conscious thought with regard to, I'll just pick a year, or how did that come about?
I think it's mostly because it was achievable with the return to work, with the burn injuries, with the grafted skin. I'd have to be cleared from my burn surgeon, all those things. And we sort of base it on what they were telling us. Okay, this is what you're thinking, and this is what you're going to be up against. Because the skin sensitivities and the hypersensitivity in my hands, all those things I had to think about. Plus working with grafted skin, it doesn't sweat. 70% of my body doesn't sweat. So I had to really learn how to thermoregulate and to recognize those signs when all of a sudden I'd be on the gym floor fainted because I pushed it too hard.
Well, and let's face it, even before the incident, you didn't work hard enough to break a sweat anyway. So probably in the end, it wasn't a huge impact.
Yeah, it was like just a cardio guy. Yeah.
Man, just kidding, folks. I have the utmost respect.
I'm not going to cry in front of you.
Yeah, that exactly.